Welcome, I'm Tom Laux, your host for Community Connections, a local news magazine that highlights the activities, people, conversations, and events that mean most to you in Southwood County. On today's program, we'll travel to Mid-State Technical College campus in Wisconsin Rapids to find out more about an engineering summer camp. Listen to Wisconsin Rapids Mayor Zach Vruwink address city employees about rapid improvement. Find out why residents in the city of Wisconsin Rapids have to pay attention to the rules of recycling or they may find themselves getting a fine. Learn more about City Band from Bob Kaiser in a Community Snapshot segment. See various events that happened at the 2013 Cranberry Blossom Festival. So please stay tuned with us over the next 25 minutes and find out more about Southwood County and why this part of the county is so special. We take a look back to show you some of the great events that happened at the 2013 Cranberry Blossom Fest that began on June 19th. Backed by popular demand was downtown classic Cinema Under the Stars. Everyone enjoyed the evening, from a taste of cotton candy to watching the movie Goonies on Grand Avenue in Wisconsin Rapids.
Hello, this is Casey McCarville here from the Teen Fireworks Committee of Southwood County, Wisconsin Rapids. And today we have a cotton candy stand set up here at Cinema Under the Stars. And as the Teen Fireworks Committee, we raise money every year for the local fireworks. And we contact local businesses. They donate generous amounts of money so we can have a great display down by the river every year.
On Friday, the weather didn't cooperate for the June Dairy Breakfast as a severe thunderstorm rolled through Wood County, causing the event to be moved into the high school. Thousands of pancakes were flipped along with tasty cranberries, syrup, cheese, butter, juice, and sausage, which were served by local area officials.
I think it's really important to be at these events just to let people know all of the work that goes in locally to grow our own food here and make sure that we have opportunities for our vendors to have a chance to meet the public in person, and just for a chance for people to get together as a community, just to see all the great things we do locally in Wisconsin Rapids and the surrounding area.
This breakfast has been going on for a lot of years. Originally started back in the early 80s, was out on a farm, sponsored by the University Extension Office and the Chamber of Commerce. And it evolved over the years to where we are today. We're here at Lincoln High School. We go and we try to highlight some of the things that Lincoln High School does. We try to have a number of ag businesses here, as well as education and a few things for the young people. So it's an educational event to promote agriculture during June Dairy Month.
The weather was awesome on Sunday, creating a picturesque scene for the fishing contest along the East Riverbanks in Wisconsin Rapids. The ducks, the kids, grandparents, and parents all had a chance to take part in the festivities before the parade. As the parade approached on Sunday, Grand Avenue was packed with thousands of patrons just anxiously waiting for candy, clowns, balloons, and floats to pass them by. We're out here at Mid-State Technical College, and it's the summer camp, and we're learning about engineering. These students behind here are learning how to race cars and design tracks, so let's take a look. The students really had fun with the program and learned how team building is important in everyday life.
This came about because we found out about the 1080 Racing Challenge on the web, and it's a new initiative to help more young people learn about careers in engineering, and specifically teaching them skills in science, technology, engineering, and math. So the program is designed so that students learn these different skills along with teamwork and all the other things that are necessary for them to be a successful engineer someday.
We gave them parameters, like you had to have a 180-degree corner. You had to have one that was between 20 and 30 degrees. You needed a 75-foot backstretch.
Well, there's several skills that they learn. First of all, we put them in a situation where they have to do a lot of math, a lot of calculating. They go through a series of learning experiences where they have to solve problems, and it's all related to NASCAR. NASCAR is the entity that's behind this whole initiative. And there's a series of videos out there at the 1080 website that walks them through certain aspects of how they build a NASCAR to compete. So there'll be things like chassis setup, weight distribution, tires, aerodynamics, what does the spoiler do, how to set the angle of the spoiler, all of those things. And they talk about it in terms of a real race car and how they're set up. So we're just doing it on a 1/10 scale, which makes it kind of cool.
Students not only learned about racing, they had a chance to build friendships by still being focused on learning skills they will use for their entire life. River City's Community Access now has a newly designed website. Visit rccamedia.org to learn about community promotion in the Wisconsin Rapids area. There you can find our social media links as well as our new YouTube channel. This channel is always being updated with new content like Community Connections, Community Snapshot, the Morning Magazine with Carl Hilke, encourages Are You In?, City of Wisconsin Rapids meetings, and much more. You can navigate straight to the YouTube channel by typing youtube.com/RCCA Media into your web browser. Videos are available anytime, 24/7. So please check out what the new website and YouTube channel have to offer. Welcome to Community Snapshot. I'm Tom Laux, and today I have Bob Kaiser, and we're going to talk about the city band, and he's the conductor of the band for the past few years. And Bob, tell me a little bit about the history of this band.
Well, we are celebrating our 150th year, as best we can determine it, for the Wisconsin Rapids City Band. We have historical records that go all the way back to some bands performing in about 1863, and throughout all that time, the band has had many different formats, sometimes as a family group, sometimes as a community group, sometimes two different bands merging together. But in our current form, we've been continually providing entertainment for the community of Wisconsin Rapids, and we will continue to do so for many years in the future.
Well, the band just started June 18th. This is for the summer here, and it's over at Robinson Park.
Correct.
How many people are on that band? And then let's talk about the dates so people can come out and see it.
Okay. We have about 50 people on the band roster. And of course, these are busy community members from all walks of life and all ages as well. We have people from all the way of sophomores of high school up to octogenarians in the band. And we do our concerts, like you said, Tom, at Robinson Park, and throughout the months of June, July, and into the first couple of weeks of August as well.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the music that you guys play. There's quite a few different tunes that you play. You play for almost an hour out there. Let's talk about some of the pieces.
Well, we have many fine traditions with the band, which include many marches, and of course several by John Philip Sousa, the March King himself. We always do Broadway show tunes, and we always have a grand tradition of having a waltz and a polka on every concert. And sometimes we even get some people out dancing.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the funding. You got to have money to operate. How does that work?
That's right. Well, we have a board of directors that goes out and solicits funds throughout the community. We have a program that we publish which has ads in it, as well as we seek sponsors for each individual concert. And in this particular summer, we have all of our concerts are sponsored. And then, of course, we'll just take donations as they come in.
Well, the donations can be held right at the concerts, right?
That's right. We have a little box that goes around, and anybody that wants to contribute, that's fine. We also have a couple of little things that we do. Peg Garber, one of our board members, is always out there with water and ice cream to sell at our concerts as well.
Yeah, definitely. Well, let's talk about two big dates coming up. The Centralia Center one here, July 4th, and also the PAC. That's your big concert of the year. It's in July. Let's talk about those two events.
That's right. For many years, the band has performed for the 4th of July prior to the fireworks, and we do that right outside the Centralia Center, facing down towards the river, and which is a great place to watch the fireworks. So we usually have people that will come out there, sit, enjoy a wonderful concert of patriotic music, and then stick around for the fireworks.
Well, if it's raining out, you always do play, rain or shine. You could go to the PAC on the Tuesday nights, or the one here, hopefully on the 4th of July, we could come right into the Centralia Center.
That's right. We can work with the community theater people and use the Mead Auditorium.
Alrighty. Anything else that you'd like to bring up about this great band?
Well, I think it is a wonderful group again this year, talented musicians, and that put on just a great show. Of course, we want to encourage people to come out to our concerts. The other one that you had mentioned was on July 28th. We have a special fundraiser concert, that's at the Performing Arts Center at 2 p.m. It's a Sunday afternoon. It's free admission, but we pass the hat, and we'd love to have everybody come on out.
Yeah, it's a great place, a nice auditorium, air conditioned in the middle of July here, or end of July. So we'll come on out there and have a lot of fun. So thanks, Bob, for coming by and sharing that information. The City of Wisconsin Rapids Mayor Zach Vruwink addresses the city workforce with a process improvement initiative. After 1 year, the mayor has been given the key from the council to activate the improvement process. We hear from Mayor Vruwink at an all-employee meeting.
Upon assuming the position of mayor just over a year ago, I began to observe the processes things took to get done. Whether it was plowing our streets, mowing lawns, or responding to 911 calls, they all find a way to get accomplished. It was also during this time that my eyes were open to the processes things took to get accomplished. And along the way, I asked many questions. Most frequently, I asked the question, why we do certain things the way we do. Although there are many good reasons why we do certain things the way we do, frequently the answer was because we've always done them this way. Further, residents ask me, and some may ask you, why a department does something a certain way, and why not a different way. My response, the same answer shared with me when I asked the question, was because they've always been done this way. It became apparent to me that our employees lack the formal opportunity and training to analyze our everyday processes. Can any of you think of a time in the last year, or the last 3 years, or ever, that you took the time, or your department took the time to analyze your processes? If you did, you may have been frustrated. You may have frustratingly scrapped the attempt because you didn't have the buy-in or didn't have the time. For most, there hasn't been enough time in the day or the week to accomplish it. And this is the premise of why we all stopped what we would otherwise be doing today to attend this meeting. The fact is, employees and their time are the lifeblood of our organization. What you do on an hourly, a daily, or a weekly basis determines what gets accomplished and what doesn't. With this thought, I felt it was crucial for us to break away from our activities today for a brief period to be introduced to what I hope will soon, and it will take time, to be ingrained in the culture of our organization here at the city. So you might be asking yourself, what's in it for me? Well, the obvious. The idea is that you will spend less time doing things that may not matter or contribute to the final outcome. The second is a financial incentive. While I can't commit specifically today to this, the exploration will be had to carve out any sort of savings or potential savings as an incentive for those of you that participate on project teams. So the next question you might be asking, why does this matter? Think about what job tasks you did just today. Now think about the time that was required to complete each one of those tasks. We all hear the phrase, there is not enough hours in the day. The reality is, this phrase is spot on. Everything we do throughout the day requires a lot of time. A universally scarce resource across every one of our departments is we just don't have enough time.
Why does this really matter to you as a resident of the city? Mayor Vruwink answers that in an example of a pothole repair.
Think about what job tasks you did just today. Now think about the time that was required to complete each one of those tasks. We all hear the phrase, there is not enough hours in the day. The reality is, this phrase is spot on. Everything we do throughout the day requires a lot of time. A universally scarce resource across every one of our departments is we just don't have enough time. And this is the exact case for process improvement. What process improvement seeks to do is shorten the time or processes it takes to get certain tasks accomplished. A great example of this, to be very simple, is the process of fixing a pothole. On the surface, to all of us and to many residents, a pothole repair sounds very simple. You take the material and you fill the hole. But the entire process is much more complex. So, what is considered when we talk about a pothole repair? You can see the points up here. You identify it. You either get a complaint from a resident or an employee finds it. You prioritize it against your scarce resources. What are the employees that are needed to repair it? What's the equipment necessary? You look at the location of the potholes. Is it a pothole on a dead-end street, or is it on a main thoroughfare? So after prioritizing, you can have the random location throughout the city. Then you look at the materials to be used for repair, and which takes potentially and what's going to be the longest lasting. And then you have your weather and your environmental considerations. What are the long and intermittent winters? How many times is that plow truck going to drive over that pothole? And then you have your drastic temperature changes. And so these are just some of the processes it takes to repair that pothole. There are local governments using process improvement initiative and concepts already. And so when you apply it to the pothole repair, what they've found is by making changes to the process, the pothole can be filled much quicker, increasing residents' satisfaction. By looking at one city that instituted process improvement to this pothole repair example, average repair time went from 4 days to at most 3 hours, using the same amount of employees. Notice I didn't say fewer employees. Think about the potential of this. Not only does this decrease the amount of time spent on an activity to free up other time for us to focus on other tasks, it has enormous benefits for our residents. Many who might feel unfairly that the city is intentionally ignoring pothole problems, when in reality we are addressing it. It's just not the most efficient way that we do so. Further, process improvement provides residents the confidence that we are doing things the most effective, the most efficient, and utilizing the most current and modern methods.
We find out from City of Wisconsin Rapids HR Director Beth Bakanowitz about how she thinks the city will benefit from this initiative.
I think over the past couple of years, what our employees have experienced through Act 10 and the various changes regarding collective bargaining, I think this program will offer them the opportunity to provide input, be part of teams that will improve our operations, and feel like they're really part of change that's going on with our city government. I certainly hope that it will result in efficiencies. So many times we feel like we just don't have enough time in the day to do all of the things that we need to get done or accomplish all the things that we need to get done. And I'm in hopes that this program will improve our processes and efficiencies, which will be beneficial to all of us to be able to do those things that we've thought about for years and just haven't been able to have the time to accomplish. So, and I think from an employee standpoint, I do believe it's going to be a real morale booster for our employees to be able to have that involvement in these activities.
Mayor Vruwink addressed the community in his State of the City address last January about the action plan. So let's hear a little more about that plan.
Last January, in my first State of the City address, I shared this vision as well during the campaign of streamlining operations to make government more efficient, more effective, and customer-friendly. I announced an initiative for consideration by City Council aiming to do just that. Further, in addition to just accomplishing our regular tasks, we have a responsibility to our residents to make sure that we are doing things as effectively and efficiently. This doesn't mean reduction of our current employed workforce. Last March, City Council approved the process improvement training for our employees. And since then, we've been working with Midstate to configure a training program that fits just us. Further, Chris Spranger has been involved with us to assist us to act as a coach and to act as a consultant to assist us on this journey. So let's talk about Lean Six Sigma. It's been thrown around as, what is this Lean Six Sigma? The words get misplaced one before another. But the initiative doesn't start and stop with just the training. To be clear, the training in Lean Six Sigma will only serve as the basic foundation for this rapid improvement initiative. Concepts like DMAIC, the theory of constraints, and statistical process control, all of which Chris will go into some greater detail. Further, we must take these concepts that we learn in the classroom and apply them to our everyday activities through participation by each one of you and all of our employees to make them our own. Chris will also be assisting with our steering committee, who will be charged with project identification and selection, so we have all the pieces in place for successful implementation right here in our own city.
Lean Six Sigma has been addressed in the past few episodes of Community Connections, but a more effective name that is tailored to Rapids, Mayor Vruink announced, was Rapids Improvement. Let's listen to the mayor talk about his strategy.
Since Lean Six Sigma will only serve as the foundation, it is more appropriate to call this initiative something different than Lean Six Sigma, or even just process improvement. So let's define rapid improvement and take a moment to understand where it came from. So why was this name selected to accurately capture this initiative? We wanted a term that would capture the idea of process improvement while still identifying that it would work in our own organization. We have to adapt it to our own people and to our own processes and make it our own. Rapid improvement came from an identification and realization that the city's approach to operational efficiency would be unique to us. What one city learned isn't what we're going to learn. What one business learned through Lean Six Sigma isn't what we're going to learn. Let's take the first word, rapid. Refers to the city of Wisconsin Rapids. Obviously, it's in our name, Rapids, right? But it also stands for the uniqueness in this approach that's going to be custom tailored for our own operations. Take the second word, improvement. We all can agree improving upon what we've already done is a good thing. And improvement must become regular. It also must institute the way of thinking in everything we do. The idea is this initiative will be recognized not only by our employees, but also to our residents and council members as well. So in the spirit of transparency, we will be tracking our progress and making that information available on our city website. So it's time for improvement, rapid improvement, the Wisconsin Rapids way. Although this has been a vision of mine that I'm proud to see come to light after City Council's blessing, the goal is to see the principles of process improvement permeate everything we do.
Rapids Fire Chief Dave Kirkman talks about how saving time in the long run will help his department employees be able to do more.
With the overall number of 911 runs continue to increase, we still have day-to-day operations that we need to complete on a daily basis. Some of those have been around for numerous years and are still done the same way they've always been done. And there might be better ways that we can actually complete some of our daily tasks that will help us, because there's times when it's hard to get a lot of those done. As the years have gone on, we've just gotten extremely busy on the 911 side and don't always have time to do the daily task. Even though some of those daily tasks are extremely important, it's just very difficult at times.
After city leaders take 4 months of extensive training and gain the skills to help improve efficiency within the city, we will report here at RCCA in the fall and find out more what they learned in their process improvement.
Hi, Jim Borski again, talking about recycling. One of the things the city's going to try to step up this year a little bit is enforcement of our recycling laws. Recycling's been a part of our ordinance since 1993, actually 1991 when the yard waste was taken out of the landfill waste stream. But 1993 we started curbside collection, and things haven't changed a whole lot. It's still a local ordinance, it's still a state law that recyclable products have to be pulled out of the waste stream. If we see garbage that has recyclables in it, people will get a warning, but they'll only get one warning. And if we revisit that location and there are still recyclables in your garbage, a $25 fine may be assessed to the person living there and putting that material out at the curb. Each consecutive fine goes up in cost, and court cost, if it comes to that, can add hundreds of dollars to the cost of a fine. So real simply, everybody needs to recycle. If you don't have the city-issued blue bins, which the city doesn't have anymore, go to a store, buy a Rubbermaid tote or something similar to that, put it out at the curb with your recycling in it, and things will be fine. If you do nothing for recycling, then we'll start with people that aren't recycling at all and start making some contacts and visits. You might end up with an orange garbage tag on your garbage and have your garbage rejected at the curb. The garbage truck driver or his assistant will fill one of these out, say there was too many recyclable materials in your garbage, leave you a tag or turn in a tag to our office saying this is why we rejected the garbage, and within a week, if the corrections aren't made, the garbage is still going to stay there. Then an ordinance control officer will visit you. If you just have problems with what you put in your recycling bin, we have a yellow tag like this. It tells you the two separations of recyclable materials, paper products and container products, and what's acceptable. This might be left in your recycling bin if we find things in there that aren't recyclable. But in short, I guess we're looking to reduce our costs for landfilling garbage, and we're also trying to do the right thing environmentally by taking these recyclable, reusable products out of the waste stream and getting them through the recycling system. We pay nothing to dump recyclables at this time, and garbage costs us $49 a ton to take to the landfill. So there's substantial benefits in taking the recyclable products out of your waste stream. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to this edition of Community Connections, our monthly news magazine that highlights the activities, people, conversations, and events that matter most to you in Southwood County. We thank Wisconsin Rapids cable subscribers on Solaris Channel 3 and Charter 985 and 96 for supporting River City's community access. If you want to be a guest on this show, please contact me at tlaux@wirapids.org or give me a call, 715-423-0441. You can see the show anytime online. Just log on to rccamedia.org and check out our new website. While visiting this website, you'll find a weekly schedule of programs and our Facebook link, along with updated meetings and a lot more. Remember, our goal here at the station is to provide you a medium of information and promotion serving the Wisconsin Rapids community.